The clock is ticking, folks, and Howie Roseman is in full hunter mode on the edge rusher market. Numbers north of $20 million a year are on the table, and the future of the pass rush for the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles could be decided in the next few days. We're talking about a situation that involves a young, explosive player who wants more than $20 million per season, and a plan B featuring a Pro Bowl defensive end with over $42 million earned in his career who might be available via trade. Stay with me here, because this is one of the most important decisions of the Eagles offseason, and you need to understand every detail of what's going down. Before we keep going, if you're an Eagles fan and you don't want to miss a single update from this wild free agency, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel. The next few days are going to bring decisions that will shape this team for years to come, and I'll be here covering every single move Howie Roseman makes in real time. Let's get into it. With the legal tampering window opening on March 9th and the official new league year kicking off on March 11th, the Philadelphia Eagles front office is working at a frantic pace. This team, coming off a Super Bowl championship, enters this offseason with one urgent and obvious need: keep or replace their edge rushers. And right at the center of all of it is Jaelan Phillips, one of the most interesting and versatile athletes in the game right now. Phillips arrived in Philadelphia midway through the 2025 season in a trade from the Miami Dolphins that cost the Eagles a third-round pick. The impact was immediate. The 26-year-old finished with 5 sacks across 17 games split between Miami and Philadelphia, added 7 tackles for loss, 14 quarterback hits, and was one of the key reasons the Eagles were able to stabilize their pass rush at a critical point in the season. But honestly, the most impressive thing about Phillips isn't even his sack total, it's the quality and consistency of his play. Analysts at The Athletic noted that Phillips finished 4th in pressure rate among all edge rushers with at least 250 pass rush snaps last season, 4th in the entire league, people. That's not luck, that's elite-level talent. But elite talent comes with an elite price tag, and that's where things start to get really interesting. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Eagles are working to re-sign Phillips on a deal that would pay him well above $20 million per year. The Athletic's Daniel Popper projects Phillips's market value at around $98 million on a 4-year contract. ESPN's Dan Graziano estimates a 4-year, $92 million deal. That puts his average annual salary somewhere between $23 and $24.5 million. Howie Roseman is clearly operating in that range. The question is, can the Eagles get the deal done before other teams come knocking with even bigger offers? Because Fowler made it clear, if Phillips decides to hit the open market, the interest around the league is going to be massive. Multiple teams across the country have their eyes on this young, ascending talent with enormous upside. And that's exactly why Howie Roseman, famous for always having a backup plan, is already moving pieces on the board. The plan B has a name: Jonathan Greenard, defensive end of the Minnesota Vikings. According to Fowler, the Eagles reached out to the Vikings to inquire about the veteran's availability. And the context behind that interest is straightforward. On March 3rd, ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that Minnesota is now open to trading Greenard as a potential cap casualty. His cap hit for 2026 sits at $22.15 million, a heavy number for a Vikings team that is in the middle of reshaping its roster. Greenard's resume is flat-out impressive. He was named to the Pro Bowl after the 2024 season when he recorded 12 sacks. The year before that, in 2023, he had 12.5 sacks. That's 2 back-to-back years of elite production. In 2025, though, his numbers took a hit. Just 3 sacks in 12 games, with 10 tackles for loss and 12 quarterback hits. A clear drop-off. But it's worth pointing out that Greenard faced that season with less talent around him in Minnesota than in previous years. Over the course of his NFL career, according to SpotRack, Greenard has earned $42.4 million. This is not a fringe player. This is a legitimate pass rusher with a track record. So, can the Eagles actually pull off a Greenard trade? Fowler suggests it would take a day 2 pick, a 2nd or 3rd rounder, to get a deal done with Minnesota. But there's a complication. Greenard still has 2 years and $38 million remaining on his current contract, and sources told Fowler that the player wants a restructure or extension as part of any trade agreement. That makes the whole thing significantly more complex than just shipping a pick off to Minneapolis. And that's exactly where the Greenard situation gets complicated for Philadelphia. Because beyond giving up a draft pick, the Eagles would also have to absorb that heavy contract and satisfy a player demanding new terms. That requires cap space, cooperation from all parties involved, and the kind of creative maneuvering that is, let's be honest, Howie Roseman's specialty. But let's be real about what the Eagles are working with at this position heading into the offseason. Based on confirmed reports from local Philadelphia media, the only two players at the edge rusher spot from the 2025 active roster who have guaranteed deals for 2026 are Jalix Hunt and Nolan Smith. Brandon Graham, Joshua Uche, Aziz Ojulari, and Ogbo Okoronkwo are all free agents, and so is Jaylen Phillips. That means this position needs serious reinforcements, whether through Phillips returning, Greenard arriving, or a combination of moves across the market. Fowler also threw out the name of Boye Mafe as a third path for Philadelphia if both Phillips and Greenard fall through. Mafe played for the Seattle Seahawks and was a key piece of the rotation on the team that made it to the Super Bowl. He finished last season with just 2 sacks. He's a 27-year-old with proven upside. Back in 2023, he put up 9 sacks and 16 quarterback hits. But analysts don't expect him to reach the star level that either Phillips or Greenard could bring. The upside? He'd come at a fraction of the price. And sometimes in the NFL, getting a solid contributor on a reasonable deal is smarter than handing out a massive contract that handcuffs your cap for years. That's the big calculation the Eagles have to make right now. Jaylen Phillips is 26 years old. He's ascending, he's got legitimate coverage ability, he can win with power and finesse as a pass rusher, and he plays with a physical edge that very few edge rushers in this league can match. But the market is going to push his price into the stratosphere. Do the Eagles have enough cap flexibility to lock Phillips in and still address their other pressing needs? At cornerback, at safety, and elsewhere across a roster that still has multiple holes to fill? That's the delicate balance Howie Roseman has to strike in the coming days. What we know for certain is that the Eagles are operating on multiple fronts simultaneously. First priority, re-sign Phillips above $20 million per year. If that doesn't work, they've already made contact with Minnesota about Greenard, and waiting in the background is a cheaper Plan C in Boye Mafe. This is Howie Roseman at his very best, always with options, always prepared, always thinking 2 steps ahead of the rest of the league. The 2026 free agency is going to be a wild ride in Philadelphia, and the edge rusher decision will set the tone for everything else that follows this offseason. So here's the question I want to leave with you, Eagles fans. Do you want Howie Roseman to pay whatever the market demands to bring Jaylen Phillips back? Or do you think a trade for Jonathan Greenard, contract complications and all, could end up being the smarter play for this team? Drop your take in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you think. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, share this video with your fellow Eagles fanatics, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single move this free agency. I'll be updating everything in real time. Fly, Eagles, fly!